You know, some folks might pull some of my videos or our videos and try to say we racist and we hate other people, but in between a lot of those videos, what they will find is that we call our own out just as much, if not even more so, than anybody else. Many of our people who have been put into positions to be overseers and gatekeepers, we have gone just as hard on them as anybody else. And that's ultimately what we demand of all other people. We hear people, you know, talk about, they acknowledge the racism amongst their own, but beyond just talking about it, the same way we go hard and attempt to disrupt our own people from being in positions to carry out these oppressive agendas, that's what we need other people to do. And not just so much focus on our response to that. Something I was thinking about this morning is how we have Curren Price, who is a city council member, and there's a lot of people in our community who are upset because he has endorsed one of his Latino staffers. I don't know if it is his chief of staff or a person who holds another position, but he has basically endorsed him to take his seat once he terms out. And the 9th District is one of the more historical black communities, which has, you know, been taken over by other people. But the thing that I was thinking about is how a few years ago, when Curren Price, who was over the 9th District, was battling Marquise Harris Dawson, who was over the 8th District, for some of the what they call financial generators, like I think it was the LA Coliseum and a couple other things. They were fighting over whose district that would go into, because again, these financial generators generate a lot of tax money for those districts. And it came out in those tapes that were leaked with Nuri Martinez and Kevin De Leon and a couple others, and they were basically sharing they had voted to make sure those institutions were put into Curren Price's district because they knew they as Latinos were about to take it over. And a lot of folks got upset. There were people who kind of focused more attention on some of the, you know, more juvenile things that were said, basically when they were just talking shit about people's children and talking shit about protesters. But that stood out to me because it would show where Curren Price was in that. And basically what I'm saying is, if they were saying they were favoring Curren Price to get these tax generators because they knew they would take it over, that's exactly what Curren Price is now fulfilling by endorsing Latino, like they said. And, you know, talking about stuff like this, it makes people feel certain ways, but the bottom line is the effect it has for our people, for our communities. So that is something you will find throughout my pages if you are investigating, that I don't back down from. Because again, I moved to Los Angeles in 1980 as a 9-year-old, grew up here. This is all I know. This is my home. And it was black folks from the east side to the west side, you know, from the south up to probably Olympic. And now many of those communities are gone. And where folks want to talk over all the things that led to our erasure, our removal, those of us who experienced can't let it go, will not let it go. Especially considering a lot of those things are still happening to us today.